You ever look at yourself in the mirror and realize someone almost destroyed the way you see yourself? Not because they hit you, not because they screamed, but because they slowly made you feel like you were never enough. That kind of heartbreak is dangerous because it happens quietly. At first, he loved everything about me. My laugh, my voice, the way I got excited over little things. He used to look at me like I was art. And maybe that's why I didn't notice when things started changing. The compliments became rare, the effort became one-sided, and somehow I started blaming myself for the distance he created. Funny, right? How girls will sit there wondering if they are too emotional while carrying relationships entirely by themselves. I used to replay conversations in my head at night, wondering if I talked too much, if I loved too deeply. Meanwhile, he was sleeping peacefully. That's the painful part about loving someone who stopped choosing you. You suffer loudly, they live quietly. And the worst heartbreak isn't even cheating. Sometimes it's watching someone slowly become colder to you, while you still love them the same. I remember staring at my phone for hours waiting for replies, trying not to seem too needy, trying not to ruin his mood, trying to stay lovable. Do you know how exhausting it is to constantly shrink yourself so someone else can stay comfortable? I stopped recognizing myself. I became quieter, softer, sad more often. I started overthinking everything, even my appearance, especially my appearance, because heartbreak changes the way a woman sees herself. Suddenly you're wondering if another girl is prettier, funnier, more exciting. You compare yourself to strangers online, while the person hurting you acts completely normal. And somehow life keeps moving. People still post happy pictures, the sun still rises. Everybody keeps telling you to move on, like healing is that simple. But nobody talks about the anger, the humiliation, the nights you replay memories like a movie you wish had a different ending. Nobody talks about crying over someone and then feeling embarrassed for still caring. That kind of pain changes you. I think that's when I started using makeup differently, not to impress him anymore, but to rebuild myself. Every brush stroke became therapy. Every every lip gloss application felt like me trying to put pieces of myself back together. Because when your heart breaks, you start searching for control anywhere you can find it. And honestly, there were days I looked beautiful and still felt empty. Because pretty doesn't fix pain. People think glowing up after heartbreak is revenge, but revenge is loud. Healing is quiet. Healing looks like blocking someone and still missing them. It looks like crying less each week. It looks like finally eating properly again, sleeping peacefully again, laughing genuinely again. And one day, you wake up and realize you didn't think about them first thing in the morning. That's when healing begins. Not when you stop loving them, but when you finally start loving yourself more. You know, I used to think losing him was the worst thing that could happen to me. Now, I think losing myself was worse, and maybe it didn't break me intentionally. Maybe some people simply don't know how to hold soft hearts properly. Still, that pain changed me. I became more guarded, more observant, less willing to beg for love. Because once you've experienced emotional neglect, you notice effort differently. You notice inconsistency faster. You stop romanticizing bare minimum affection. And honestly, I forgive myself now for staying too long, for making excuses, for loving someone harder every time they pulled away. I was trying to save something that was already ending. That doesn't make me weak, it makes me human. Sometimes women don't stay because they're stupid. They stay because they remember how beautiful the love felt in the beginning. They keep hoping the person they first met will come back. But sometimes that version never existed at all. And that realization hurts differently, because now you're not only grieving the relationship, you're grieving the illusion too. But heartbreak has a strange way of rebuilding people. It teaches you boundaries, teaches you intuition, teaches you that attention is not the same as love. And slowly you become someone new, a softer woman, but also a wiser one. Now when I do my makeup, I don't do it hoping someone chooses me. I do it because I survived things that tried to destroy my confidence. Because every healed girl deserves to feel beautiful again. And if I could talk to the old version of myself, the girl crying at 2 a.m. over someone who was slowly letting her go, I tell her this: one day he will become a memory instead of a wound. One day you'll stop checking your phone, stop rereading old messages, stop blaming yourself for how badly someone loved you. And one day you look in the mirror and see her again, the girl you almost destroyed but didn't. The girl who survived heartbreak and somehow became even more beautiful afterward. You know what's funny? Nobody notices when a girl is slowly rebuilding herself. They only notice the glow after she's done healing. A few months ago, I stopped recognizing myself, not physically, but emotionally. I was tired all the time, tired of pretending, tired of trying so hard for people who could live so easily. And the weird part, life doesn't stop just because your heart is heavy. You still wake up, still answer messages, still smile in pictures. But deep inside, you know something changed. So one day I did something small. I sat in front of my mirror, no music, no pressure, just silence. And I remember looking at my reflection thinking, who even are you now? You know, not in a sad way, more like a stranger meeting herself for the first time. I picked up my makeup brush slowly. Not because I wanted to impress anyone, but because for once, I wanted to feel beautiful for myself again. And honestly, that first day wasn't magical. It felt lost. But there's something healing about taking your time with yourself. The way foundation smooths over tired skin, the way concealer brightens your eyes like you finally slept peacefully, the way lip gloss somehow makes you feel softer. Tiny things, but tiny things save people sometimes. And while blending my makeup, I started thinking about how women carry pain so gracefully. And nobody teaches that. You just learn it. A girl could be completely breaking inside and still look pretty at dinner. That's strength, but also sadness. I think that's why beauty feels deeper than makeup sometimes. It's art, it's therapy, it's control, especially when life feels messy. You know, there was a time I thought glowing up meant revenge, looking people, posting more, making people regret losing you. But now, I think the real glow up is peace. Being able to look in the mirror and not criticize every little thing. Being able to say, I survived things nobody even apologized for, and still choosing softness after that. That's power. Sometimes people think healing is loud, like dramatic transformations, but mine was quiet, very quiet. It looked like drinking more water, cleaning my room, praying more, taking better pictures of myself, doing my makeup even when I had nowhere to go. Little by little, I started returning to myself. And one thing nobody tells you about healing is you'll outgrow people. The old version of you may have tolerated things your new self simply cannot. And that's okay. Not everybody is meant to come with you into your next chapter. Some people only meet the survivor version of you. Others get to meet the healed version. I think that's beautiful, because every version of you deserved love, even the confused one, especially her. Know what else I learned? Confidence is not always loud. Sometimes confidence is simply walking into a room without needing validation, or posting a picture without overthinking who will see it, or wearing makeup because it makes you happy, not because you're trying to compete. And honestly, social media can make girls feel like they're running out of time, like everyone else is prettier, richer, more successful. But real life isn't Instagram. Everybody is fighting something privately. Some people hide loneliness behind luxury. Some hide heartbreak behind beauty. Some hide depression behind humor. That's why I've stopped comparing journeys. Flowers bloom differently. And lately, I've been choosing softness. Soft mornings, soft makeup, soft energy. Not because I'm weak, but because life already feels hard enough. I don't want to become cool just because life hurt me. I still want to love deeply. Still want to laugh loudly. Still want to believe beautiful things can happen to me. And maybe that's the bravest thing a girl can do, to stay hopeful even after disappointment. So if you're watching this, you're trying to rebuild yourself too, this is your reminder. You are allowed to begin again as many times as necessary. You're not behind in life. You're not hard to love. And you're not defined by the seasons that try to break you. One day, you look at old pictures of yourself and realize something. She made it. The girl who cried secretly. The girl who doubted herself. The girl who felt stuck. She survived. And not only survived, she became softer, wiser, more beautiful. Not just physically, but spiritually too. And maybe that's what beauty really is. Not perfection, not flawless makeup, not expensive clothes, just a woman finally becoming comfortable in her own skin. So today, this makeup look isn't about hiding flaws, it's about honoring growth, because every healed girl deserves to feel beautiful. And if nobody told you today, I'm proud of you for continuing, even quietly. Minutes.
10. Bado 10.